Okay, so find the set of values for which this quadratic has no real roots. So if it has no real roots, it means the determinant is less than 0. So here, my value of b is going to be 5, a is going to be 1, and c is going to be negative k plus 2. And that has to be less than 0. So that is 25 minus plus 4k minus 8 is less than 0. So that is where 4k is less than negative 17. So where k is less than negative 17 over 4. Here, prove that x squared plus 5 is not prime for all x values between 1 and 5. Well, that is a very small list, so we can just do this in an exhaustive approach, so we can just check them all. So we've got 5 things to check, and we've got 6, 9, 14, 21, 30, none of those are prime, so done. Okay, recap. Show that the line y equals 4 minus x is a tangent to the circle x squared plus y squared equals 8. So if it's a tangent, it means it touches just once, which means the solution to these two, there can only be one. So let's substitute this in. We've got x squared plus 4 minus x squared is equal to 8. Expanding that out, we've got x squared plus 16 minus 8x plus x squared is equal to 8. So that gives me 2x squared minus 8 minus 8x plus 8 equals 0. So here I'm saying there's only one solution, which means the determinant has to be 0. So my determinant here is going to be negative 8 squared, take away 4 times by 2 times by 8, and if I was plugged that into this calculator, I would get 0. So determinant equals 0 means that there's only one solution, which means it has to be the tangent. Now, here, for this one, it is a similar process. It's just more difficult to substitute this in. So here we can say that y equals 3/4 x minus 25 over 4. That's quite a lot of effort. But can be done. So substituting that in, we're going to have x squared plus 3/4 of x minus 25 over 4 squared equals 25, which means x squared plus 9 over 16 x squared minus 150 over 16x plus 625 over 16 is equal to 25, which, simplifying that, we're going to get 25 over 16x squared minus 150 over 16x plus 225 over 16 equals 0. Again, this is a tangent. If I have one solution, the determinant must be 0. So let's find the determinant. So that is going to be negative 150 over 16 squared minus 4 times by 25 over 16. My 16s there looking a lot like 10s. And 225 over 16 for C. Plug that into the calculator and we do get 0. So again, the determinant equals 0. That means one solution, which means it is a tangent. Okay, last recap question. Here a circle passes through the points 0, 3 and 0, 9. It touches the x-axis. So here we've got that it's either going to look like this. That's not bad circle for me, where it goes through 3 and 9 and it just touches the x-axis, or it's going to look like this, where it still touches 3 and 9, but it's going to touch the x-axis in the negative place. So it is this one or this one. Now, what we're going to do here is just know logically that if it's crossing through these points here, the radius has to have a y value of 6. It's going to have to be in the middle of 3 and 9, and that's true for either of them. So that center of the circle is some value of x that we don't know, so I'm just going to call it a. Y value has to be 6. But also, because it touches the x-axis here, the radius is also going to have to be 6. So that means my equation of the circle looks like x take away a squared plus y take away 6 squared equals 36. So I know these two coordinates where it works. If I plug in 0 and 9 into this, 0 take away a is negative a squared is a squared, plus here 9 take away 6 is 3 squared is 9 equals 36. So a squared is 27. So a is plus or minus root 27. So either I'm going to have x plus root 27 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 36, or I'm going to have x take away root 27 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 36.